Hello, Facebook and YouTube. Welcome to the premiere episode of the Forgotten Five Star. I'm Jordan Queen, along with the co-founder of Team Odyssey Production, Mr. Chris Brads. Take a bow, Mr. Brads. As well as Wichita's finest, my main man, the Don, Mr. Corleone Young. KY, man, what's going on, baby boy?
How you doing, brother? How you doing?
Man,
it's good to see you, Chris. How you doing, Chris? How you doing?
Great, man.
Looking good. Looking good.
Man, I'm really excited. We're going to have a good night tonight. This is going to be a whole lot of fun, and we're going to get a lot of things done. So, on our premiere episode, we decided to go with another member of Wichita's finest and fellow NBA alum, Mr. Gaylon Skip Nickerson. What's up, baby boy? It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, man. What's going on? Nice to be here.
I'm glad you're here, man. So before we go any further, man, okay, what's up with the name Skip? Where did that come from?
Well, that come from my dad when I was a child. You know what I'm saying? He called me Skipper. And he said he named me Skipper because the skipper is the captain of the ship. You know, you're the leader. He said, I'm not a follower, I'm a leader. So the Skipper.
Skipper, I like that. What you rocking on there tonight?
That little throwback, one of my Atlanta Hawks throwback from my time there.
Oh man.
Well, is that an original? Is that one of your originals?
Yeah, this is one of the originals.
Yeah.
And I have some available.
Nice.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Nice. I like that.
Man.
Looking good.
Skip, how you been, man? How's life been going for you, man?
Oh, well, it's been going good, man. Life is positive, as long as you doing positive things, making positive moves, that's all you can get is positive results. So I'm just staying focused, just trying to continue to give back and, do positive things.
Man. Well, no, I'm just glad to hear that. Like I said, growing up, I had a few of your basketball cards laying around here and there. So this journey is going to be fun for me too, so I'm excited to be a part of with all these boys.
Oh yeah, that's good.
He said something important, staying positive. Every time I hear it, Jordan, you remember I told you we're going to key it in so we can give these kids a vocabulary so maybe they can go to their dictionary or glossary and look up. But positive is simple. And it's something we must keep, remain, and sustain. So shouts out to my brother, and something that I learned from him also, growing up in Wichita under him. So I've always been proud and very proud to see what he's doing today. And as he said, it's always got to be positive.
Absolutely.
So, Corleone, when you were growing up, you admired him, right? You looked up to him.
That's how the rites of passage. The rites of passage is exactly what he gave. And so you got to have these things, man. You got to have the people that you can touch every day. If I hadn't been able to actually be close to him, there's no way that I actually maybe go to the NBA.
Right.
But seeing it and able to touch it, I mean, of course, he knows how I feel about it.
That's good.
Yeah.
So question for both you guys. At what age did you realize that dream was a possibility to go to the NBA?
Skip, it's your show. Go ahead, baby.
For me, I started seeing it my senior year, really.
Senior year.
High school. Anytime before that, like 10th, 9th, 10th, 11th grade, it was college.
Yeah.
I would make it to college. But by my senior year, because of my work ethic and the things that was happening, I knew I had a possibility of going to the NBA by myself.
Right.
Well, I mean, you were a McDonald's All-American nominee. And I mean, that's a hard feat in itself. I believe you're Mr. Kansas as well. Is that correct?
That's right. Mr. Kansas, my senior year.
Man. So what, during that time, because the recruiting process is a whole lot different, I think, compared to what it was with KY, obviously in the 90s and you being in the 80s. So with the recruiting process, you know, you being Mr. Kansas, I mean, like how was it done? Like, were there a lot of schools looking at you? Like, what was your main schools looking at you at the time?
Well, yeah, I was a top recruit for us like UNLV, Arkansas, you know, all the top schools, Arizona. But because of my loyalty, because of the dream of the reason why I was already in Wichita was to go to Wichita State. I didn't take any visits. I didn't even open a letter from nobody else because I already knew I was going to go to Wichita State.
Right.
Recruiting, when I came around, you know, not too much of a difference. But if we compare now to then even our time period and gap, social media plays the biggest role.
Oh, yeah.
So putting social media and putting Skip in the social media mindset or the social media, say, era, imagine that. And so the recruiting, of course, it had to start somewhere, but there was always an evolution to where now a lot of the recruiting now is you hear about the kid across country you used to hear, you'd have to go fly or catch him somewhere to see him. A lot of kids got recruited on this. Now, social media, you can create hype, you can, you know, so
right.
Some disadvantages, some advantages, even to when I played and came out versus when Skip came out.
You know, and I'd like to point out too, 1988. I mean, that was no joke of a year with the recruiting class. I mean, dude, we had Christian Leitner, Alonzo Mourning, Chris Jackson, who's now Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, who I think is the most underrated player, one of the most underrated players in the NBA. You know, big shot Bob Horry, man. I mean, did you play in tournaments with these guys at the time, or how did that work? Were there a lot of tournaments back then?
Well, yeah, there were some tournaments you had to be invited to, but I really didn't start playing in any tournaments until after high school, you know, like college, you know, top college. Because growing up, I wasn't an AAU player. You know, I didn't get like a lot of players my age. They played AAU, and they were playing in a thing that was here around Wichita that was called biddy basketball. And see, I never played in biddy basketball, you know, because I wasn't there at that time. I was in Arkansas, and we had no leagues there in Arkansas. So I kind of missed it. I kind of missed that. And getting into the AAU and get my name out there and all that. So I was like a late developer, really, as far as getting in tournaments and getting invited to tournaments. Yeah. Because my first camp was Wichita State, coming out of high school. Before that, I hadn't been to any camp.
Wow.
You know, and a lot of that is because of where I was from. You know, I'm from a small town, small area, you know. And so
and I'd like
my journey was out of the mud for real, you know, like from the bottom. You know,
Yep.
So
was it a big adjustment when you went to college?
Well, yeah, it was. As far as facing the defense and the type of the athletic, you know, the athletic ability,
right?
You know, it was more of it and better. You know, a lot of people was a lot better. So yeah, you had to make those adjustments. If you can't make those adjustments,
it's not gonna happen.
That's why you don't get the playing time, and that's when you run into the, you know, all the problems like that.
So did you find that the adjustments you made, you easily adapted to that as far as talent-wise?
Yeah, I was fortunate because of my talent, but it was my work ethic. You know,
correct.
I was a gym rat. Gym rat.
So how was the coaches there? Good coaching? Did you feel like you got good coaching in college?
Well, starting out, my problem, that's why I ended up transferring, because my coach told me to hold back. I was told to hold back. You know, you outshining the seniors. So hold back.
Your coach said that?
Wow.
Yeah, I was told that, and I felt some type of way because there was freshmen at other colleges. That's when like Chris Jackson, you know, might move Raouf now, but then Chris Jackson, he was getting to shine, you know, and other freshmen they was getting to play, and that was discouraging to me that I had a coach that wouldn't let me play if I had that ability. Let me play.
Well, especially after the loyalty that you showed to the state
To
of Kansas
them.
and in Wichita.
Yeah, and see, maybe that's when they say a closed mouth don't get. Maybe if I would have told them my story of why I even came there, and you know, showing my loyalty, maybe things could have went different. But I didn't think that was important because, you know, I think just the way that I play is what mattered.
Right. You never considered going in the draft like KORLEONE though, right out of high school, or was that not even possible then?
Well, no, that was unheard of then. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, yeah, nobody was doing that then. And plus, I didn't have the size, you know, like, especially guards. There haven't been many guards my size to ever do it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Kobe was 6'6", 6'7", you know. But
Right.
Well, you were kind of in the mold of like a Monte Ellis, like a combo guard, if I recall, correct?
yeah, if I think it was possible if I was in a different area. You know, being that Wichita, they compared the competition to, you know, like the bigger cities of Chicago, Los Angeles, New York. So they would say they had better competition. So maybe if I was in one of those cities and did what I did in Wichita there, yeah, most definitely.
Well, I mean, regardless of what the coaches said, you were still all freshman team that year. You know, you made the all freshman team that year. And so not only did you transfer, you transferred to a community college. Now, what's the story with that?
Well, yeah, because of the way that I was playing, there's a well-known high school coach around here in Wichita. His name was Coach Eck. And he called me one time and he was like, he said, what's going on? You're not yourself. You're not playing. And I told him that, you know, the coach told me to hold back. And he was like, what? Hold back. And then that's the first time the thought of transferring came up. He was like, you know, if you transfer to a junior college, you can leave the junior college and be recruited all over again. So I was like, oh, wow, really? So I ended up transferring from Wichita State to Butler. So there was no problem with the coach. You know, there was no big thing happened, nothing happened. You know, I transferred because he wasn't letting me play. Simple as that.
Man, I can't even imagine the coach telling you to hold back.
Yeah, that was I don't know.
That's terrible.
Story of my life. Cause like still today, I'm like 78. They did the top scores in the history of Wichita State. And I'm like 78th or something. And I've only played one season. So
I'll say 1 year. Yeah.
Yeah. So I imagine what would I be if they would have just let me play. You know, I would probably be one of the top. I know I would have been one of the top players from the school.
I'm going to dig in for a second. Hey, KY, check your mic, buddy.
We all right?
We all right.
Yes.
Tell them about Butler. That's where he went next.
Yeah. So after I leave Wichita State, I go to Butler, and I'm catching a lot of negative in the newspapers and stuff because you don't go from a D1 to a junior college. You normally go from a junior college to a D1, but they didn't know why I went from D1 to junior college. So being at Butler, I gotta make it work. You know, since I transferred from a D1, I gotta make it work. So I'm there academically. I gotta get everything right academically, and I gotta get everything right personal, like my physical. I was in the best of shape, man. I'm talking about I was in top shape. So I ended up being like one of the top players in JUCO that year.
No, actually,
JUCO All-American.
you were the top JUCO player that year because you got National Junior College of the Year. Forget being a part of that. You were the top guy. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to be modest.
Number one.
You in the
Yeah.
record books, baby boy.
Yeah. Like we went overseas that year. We won a gold medal. Top junior college player, all-stars. That was a heck of a team. It was hard making that team. That was an amazing team right there. I feel like we could have beat anybody because we had size and everything. We were 6'11", 6'10". So, you can face anybody with that.
Kippy, I got a question. So even after going to Butler, now I got to, be honest. If they didn't recruit me to stay home the first time, now what made you come back to K-State?
Now, I came back to K-State because I felt like I have to build a fan base around Kansas, being from high school in Wichita, then Butler. And so now I'm feeling in Wichita State. And so I'm feeling like, hey, okay, I done already spent this much time around here. I got a little fan base around here. I'm going to go to K-State and do it. So
simple as that. Just simple.
Yeah.
No thought. Good to go.
Actually, the same thing happened at K-State ended up happening at Wichita State.
He told you to hold back?
Wait.
Oh,
twice.
They told you to hold back twice?
He told me to hold back, man. Altman told me to hold back, said, next year's your year. You'll shine next year.
What was this
and
like?
that was just so discouraging to me because I just felt like, man, they just won't let me ball. They won't let me go. So I finished the season and there was like a couple of months of school left, man. I ended up quitting school. I ended up leaving. I left school. I was just frustrated. I gave up. I got tired of, and all I had to do was finish it. If he was gonna keep, I didn't know if he would keep his word. If I finish up strong, come back next year, he might not let me play again. Tell me this ain't I just gave up.
So did the dream die to you then, or did you just say to yourself, I'm gonna make it no matter what, or were you just kind of like throwing in the towel at that moment?
The dream died then. I was done. I had gave up. But things happened along the way, and Coach Eck, again, the same coach that had me transfer from Wichita State, he sent word. My other players told them to reach out to me. So I go to see what Coach Eck wanted, and Coach Eck say, Gaylon, do you know that you have a year eligibility? I'm like, what? I got a year eligibility? He was like, yeah, if I help you find a school, would you get it done? I said, Coach, you get me find a school, I promise I get it done. I had a year eligibility. I ended up going to Northwestern Oklahoma State, and I got drafted that year.
Okay, now that's Alva. That's in Alva, right?
Alva, Oklahoma, yeah.
So that's about what, 2 hours from here?
Yep, exactly.
Now, when you got there, who did you know?
Nobody.
So now take me through some of this adversity. Not adversity, but tell me the adaptation, because I know the population of Alva. Never been there, but not,
Well,
I've never even drove through there. But
when I got there, I called Coach Eck and I told him that the coach let me play with the first 5 and he was going to give me a full scholarship. And then Coach Eck was like, well, okay, we got other schools on the list, because he had composed the list. And the next school was California, places like that. And he was like, because that's in the middle of nowhere, Gaylon. And I was like, Coach, I'm like, if I'm going to get it done, it don't matter where I go. And I was like, maybe being in the middle of nowhere is good. It don't matter. I'm not going to, So I got eligible and I worked on my game.
I'd like to point out something right now.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I just thought of this. This is amazing. Gaylon, how could you play? I think you have to be one of the only players, you understand me, that played in the NCAA,
junior college,
and the NAIA and got drafted in the NBA. I can't think of if there's anybody watching out here that knows of anybody else, please message us because
Go in the chat room and message. Go in the chat room if you know any player, because I'm finna get to Googling, but
Me
before
too.
they beat me, I don't have anybody. So Skip, that season, the feeling of finally getting to play. Now, take me there because I seen the video. I know the records. I know the single season record. I know. So bring everybody else into that, man. How you actually do that? How you go from what you've heard to saying now it's just, man, bring us into it.
Well, when I finally got the chance to play, it was like, hey man, it's gotta work. You know, I'm talking about as far as with the chemistry with my teammates. You know, I didn't want nobody being angry because I'm shooting this many shots or trying to do, I mean, it all had to come together. And it did, you know, everything came together. Coach had the most confidence in me that any coach ever had. So his confidence in me gave me confidence. So I was just so confident. And then my teammates believed in me. So it just made it so much easier. But I led the team in scoring. I led the league in scoring.
Mm-hmm.
I led the league in assists. And I was second in rebounding.
Wow.
In the league.
So this is your fourth stop.
My fourth stop.
Fourth college. And this is the first coach that didn't tell you to hold back.
First coach that gave me the green light, told me to, he had confidence in me.
He wanted to keep his
He let me
job.
go.
Shit.
And I never really played point. I never really played point. He threw me, he just threw me to the wolves. He was just like, you the point guard. And at first I didn't think I could do it because I've always been trained to be a two guard. And that was the first time that's where I got all my respect for a point guard. Not that I didn't have any anyway. I always had respect for point guards. But having to play point guard, man, it's a lot of responsibility. Keeping everybody happy, especially when you're a scoring point guard, it's hard to keep everybody happy. You got to keep everybody happy.
Right.
I mean, you were ahead of
to
your
keep
time.
everybody happy, I had to learn everybody's move. I knew everybody's play.
Right.
So
the sweet spot, where to get them the ball.
Where to get them the ball. And when to get mine.
So after you had given up pretty much, this experience now takes you back and reignites your dream to go to the NBA.
Yeah, this ignited for everything. I mean, I had to throw all the marbles on the table, everything, all my cards, everything. This is it. This is my last chance, last stop. So I got in the best shape. I was in the best shape, and I worked on my game day and night. I mean, I ended up asking coach for a key to the gym because I couldn't even sleep at night leading up to my season, my first season coming back that I hadn't played in a while, and I had thought I'd never play again.
Right.
Yeah, I couldn't even sleep, man. Wow. I shot so many jumpers, and it paid off.
So you smoked the season. Now, the summer of graduation of that senior year, Portsmouth is first, Desert Classic is second, right?
Right.
Now, I want you to bring the world into, now we've told them the stops. We've told them what it took, even how you got there and what you took with you. Now, we're talking pre-draft time. Pre-draft time. Take me and take the world into the mindset of the Division II player going to the pre-draft camp, and now bring us into that now.
Okay, at the pre-draft camp, they had top players, top schools anyway. Syracuse, all the top schools, North Carolina, Duke, and here I am, Northwestern Oklahoma State. So when we came out, they booed me. The people booed and laughed because they didn't know where Northwestern Oklahoma State was. You know, they never heard of it. So they kind of booed and everything. So at halftime, after we came back out, because of my performance, after we came back out, after halftime, I got a standing ovation.
So give me your halftime stats.
Man, all I know is I was on fire, you know, like, because the people booed me, that put me, you know, most people, if you ain't got that kind of game, that'll make you fold. I mean, it ain't in you. You ain't got it. But what it did to me, it ignited me. It took me to a level it just made me so, you know, I had to prove something.
Right.
And I played incredible I played so incredible that Marty Blake came up to me and told me that you played yourself from out of nowhere to the first round. He told me that at halftime. That's how much I showed out. But when I came out, the people gave me a standing ovation. I got a standing ovation. So that kind of blemished out and wiped out that laughing and booing they had done to me. I had forgot all about that.
It's always good to do that.
Yeah, I forgave for that. I even signed autographs and everything. I forgave him for that.
Well, you know what I like about you, Skip, is everything that I've done my homework on. The one thing that you've always done that I've noticed is play to the fans, especially when you were in, you know, like college and all that. What I thought was dope was the fact that you were at both these tournaments, which I wish the NBA would bring back just so that the fans could be a little more interactive in the draft process, because everything's closed up now before COVID, which is bullshit. But I'll tell you what I loved. I love the fact that you won both slam dunk contests in both tournaments. Like you did, not only did you show out, you showed out to the fans too. And as a fan, I appreciate that. Nothing but love sent. That's the stuff that I want to see and take my kids to see.
Yeah, that's always fun, man. That's always fun. You know, the dunk contests, especially, you know, it makes you nervous. It's nervous.
So if you and Corleone were in a dunk contest, who would win?
Oh, him by far.
Hey, okay, man. My man Skip would wax that ass, dude.
I only got one dunking from the free throw line, and that's it. So shit. After I get 10s on all that, that's it.
Coming back.
That's all I got. But Skip, what I want to do is I almost congratulate you this many years later, brother, because getting drafted, when there's something here and it happens, I know how you feel. Because guess what? Remember, after you, and you're the reason why I wanted to do that, man. So you know how it is. It's never too late to say like two things. I'm sorry or thank you. And so, man, I just want to thank you, brother. You know what I mean? And that's besides all the other thank yous, because I think people should hear this. I was able to be as close to you as to do as I'm doing now for 15, 20 years. And so that pushed me and they gave me a mindset, man. And so I want people to know that if you're watching today, Google, but Google in the right manner. Learn some of this great history so you can know that wherever you at, you can do the same thing. So I thank you, bro. I love you.
Oh yeah, we both definitely got a blueprint, at least to determination and inspiration. You know, that's all I want to do is inspire, you know, because I've seen a lot of kids in a lot of tough situations, but I like to let them know that I've been in some of those tough situations and you can make it out. All you got to do is just keep grinding, keep believing, and keep pushing forward.
Right.
You know, and it'll happen.
You pushed your way all the way into being the 34th pick in the 94 draft. I mean, and that wasn't no weak draft either. You pushed your way all the way. You came from nothing all the way to giving up your dream to being an early second round draft pick in the NBA draft to the Hawks.
Yeah, there was
How
some
did
Hall
that,
of
now, where
Famers.
were you at and how did you feel about that? Because I'd be stoked. Ground Jordan over here, he'd be stoked.
Well, actually, I was kind
Ground
of
Jordan.
semi-disappointed. Only because they had to, I was really supposed to go 22. I was supposed to go 22 that year, but I had twisted my ankle in the tournament. I twisted my ankle and my stocks dropped. I went from 22 to 34. So I was kind of depressed because I had twisted my ankle. I wanted to go first round. But late as my name was getting called, there I go again. I gave up. I was like, man, they ain't gonna call my name. I heard my family going crazy. And I still didn't think that it was because of me. And then they had to come in there and find me because I was in there with the lights turned off, everything. Came and told me, they just called you. They just called your name. So I was like, what? It was a beautiful feeling. It was a good feeling. Knowing that the work that you done put in and all the time and all the travel and being away from your loved ones and all that, then it finally pays off. That's, you can't beat it. Ain't no better feeling. Yeah.
So who called you from the Hawks?
General Manager Pete Babcock at the time.
Babcock.
Yeah. They had called me a day or so previously and said that told me I was going 22 to Orlando. I was supposed to go 22 to Orlando.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who did Orlando take?
Yeah.
What's his
Remember?
name? Thompson. From Oklahoma State.
Brooks Thompson.
Brooks
I remember
Thompson.
Brooks.
Thompson.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember Brooks. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
right after you got drafted, I mean, you went right to rookie camp. And from what I read, it sounds like you showed out like right away. I mean, it sounds like, gosh, I think you were 7 for 9 in your first game. I mean, dude, like you were there on a mission.
Yeah, man, that was like another one of those years being in the best shape. I found out that's the secret. So all them youngsters, whoever's listening, trainers, you want to tell the kids or tell whoever you're training, the best shape, the better shape you're in, the better you're gonna perform.
So
I was in some of the best shape, man. They couldn't stop me. You got to run with like Rip Hamilton. That was most of his offense. Rip wasn't doing nothing flashy. He's just consistent because he was in some of the best shape. You can't run with him. You playing defense, chasing him. Oh man, you tired. You're like, man, hoping he missed. And that's what it was a lot for me. I mean, a lot of guys who used to defend me, they used to tell me that's why my game was the way it was. Like I wasn't doing nothing special, like crossing them over or nothing. It's just that I was in better shape. I was in shape. So I took it for what it was, if that you want to say.
So when you get to the Hawks camp, was there a veteran on that team that stood out to you as far as somebody you wanted to play against?
Mookie Blaylock.
Mookie.
I went to camp. My goal at camp was, as long as I don't get ripped by Mookie, I felt like
it's good.
I did good, and I never got ripped by Mookie the whole time. So that was the only thing for me. Somebody could have dunked on me. They could have did whatever. As long as I don't get ripped by Mookie, I did not want Mookie to rip me.
I'm gonna take it somewhere, and I'm gonna take it somewhere because we got to go there. Now, rookie camp, veteran camp, you do extremely well. Take me through the process of sitting down and ironing out all these creases to either choose from what opportunities you have. And if you had other opportunities, bring me into the mindset of your agent and the people that was representing you, marketing you. And if you felt like you were marketed right.
Well, that's another thing I tell the youngsters upcoming. That's one of the most important That's one of the most important parts of the plan, is to have a team. You know, a team that a support team. Because I didn't have one. I didn't have a mentor. I think that's one of the most important things for a kid too. You gotta have a mentor, someone they can follow and listen to, and you know, someone can direct them. I was making decisions on my own at a young age. I was making grown man decisions at a young, and sometimes I had to learn from it. I learned from it from mistakes and experience. Nobody was teaching me or telling me.
And just to let the viewers out there know, because I know not everybody knows the story, your agent had prevented you from going to play the preseason that year for the Hawks. He had, you know, most second rounders do not get a guaranteed contract, and that was just what the Hawks were doing at that time. But your agent was not letting you play in the preseason that year. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, but because of my relationship with him, from my understanding of him, it wasn't out of hate, or it wasn't out of anger or being evil or misjudgment or nothing.
He just didn't know what he was doing.
Sure.
No, not even that. It was. I think he fed too much into my story. For as he knew I was from a small town. My family was struggling for money financially.
Do you think your agent believed in you?
Not for the NBA. He wanted to give me some money. He felt like he was looking out if he get me money paid. So he was trying to get me something on the table to help me feed my family, help me with.
He had a vision, but his vision and your vision at that point in time really wasn't even seeing. It wasn't even lined up. You wasn't going to hit anything straight ahead. Like, because you had dreams of going to the league, and your potential, your game, I mean, you just got drafted. So I just had to make that out there clear, because I want people to understand that a lot of times, a lot of times there's things being talked about behind, and I'm not throwing your agent under the bus, but I will say this. When you select an agent, he better be one, and we talking to the viewers out here, that believes. You almost got to take him through a Q&A questionnaire. He got to believe more than you do almost, and see it just as you do, because for him, it was a given.
You don't work for your agent works for you.
Works for you.
And that was your dream. So KORLEONE ain't going to say it, but I'm going to say it. That was piss poor planning on his part. And I'm going to leave it at that. But that's just my opinion.
But if we went on from there, now, where was your first stop overseas? Turkey. Now, from my research, because I played overseas, which I came after you, your name was already there all over EuroLeague. I played with Chandler, which you know. Bring us into the EuroLeague that first year. Take us into the mindset of where you were and what your goal was. If it was 1 year, one and done, coming back to the league, or if the nice career you was setting up made you comfortable overseas.
Well, I went as a replacement. I went to replace the other guard for UNLV.
Anderson Hunt.
I remember.
Went to replace Anderson. So I went part of the season. I didn't play a full season. So when I went there, it was really out of anger, you know, far as like my basketball, I was angry. So my plan over there was to prove a point. I went over there to kill. I was killing. I got to prove a point that I belong in the NBA. And that's what I did. I went over there and had a great season. We won the Turkish Cup, you know, and all that. And when I came back, I went to camp in Atlanta, and I'm tying my shoe, and me and Mookie Blaylock, you know, we the last ones in the locker room. And Mookie was like, why you didn't come sign with us last year? And I said, y'all didn't want me. And Mookie was like, what? You was the best one here. Mookie said, you was the best one here last year. Yeah, we wanted you. He's like, yeah, we wanted you. And so when he left out the locker room, it was like, you know, so I'm just looking in the mirror and I'm like, dang, they wanted me last year. I swear, if they wanted me last year, then they gonna want me this year. Because I felt like I was better. But
So at this point, did you have a different agent?
same agent, man.
Same guy.
Same guy.
But the Hawks still had your rights. So actually next year, so basically you went to the preseason the next year.
Next year.
Yeah.
Now let's go through that. Tell me about it. Now you're in an NBA uniform. It's still preseason, but you're still rocking that Hawks jersey you got on right now. So let's talk about, hey, how did it feel to get on the floor for the first time in the NBA? You know what I mean? Like, let's talk about that. Let's get positive again.
Man, that was awesome. That was a feeling. You know, there comes a time when you know when you belong or not. You know, when there's guys in that league, they know if they don't belong, so they trying to get as much as they can before they, you know if you belong a lot. And I feel like I belong. I was doing some things. I was making moves as far as on the floor, dunking on people. You know, I knew I belonged. That year right there let me know that I knew I belonged. And Lenny Wilkins told me, you know, after talking with the Hall of Famer Lenny Wilkins, I knew.
He was coaching the Hawks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was your relationship with him?
Lenny was great, man. He was awesome. I just tried to be around and suck up as much knowledge and experience from him as I could. You know, every chance I got, I tried to be around, listening to his conversation when he talked to other people, and just all that. I was trying to pick up on those things because he's a Hall of Famer, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, great person.
But the preseason ends, and obviously there's only so many spots, and that was probably some bad news that day from Lenny, right?
Yeah, yeah. But just telling me don't stop, don't give up. You belong in this league, you know. That's how things happen. That's the business stuff.
The league sounds really political. I mean, me and KY have talked about this in the past, and you know, sometimes it's not if you're the best player or not. Sometimes, you know, life is just political. You know what I mean? And in your opinion, is that how the NBA is?
Well, you know, it's a business. You know what I'm saying? It's a business, and it's all about the money, making the money, and it's all about timing, and you know, it's a lot of things to go in with it. But it's more business than anything. So when you run into that business side, then you learn.
Hey, did your agent? Did he represent other basketball players or athletes?
Yeah, he had Ron Harper, Rod Strickland, you know, Jimmy Jackson.
Everybody he just named played 12 years. So this guy, he knew. Man, that's deep.
Well, if that was Jimmy Jackson's agent, he had Jackson hold out for what, all but like 12 games his rookie year. So this dude's all trying to get coin. I mean, shit. He was all like, dude, Jimmy played like 14 games his rookie year. He could have been all over the team, and all of a sudden, I played with Jimmy Jackson on NBA Jam before he even played in an NBA game.
Before he played in the NBA.
You know? Shoot.
Holding out.
Yeah.
That's great.
But after that, you went to the CBA, played with the Florida Beach Dogs. And I got to ask you a question about one of your teammates because he's a legend in his own right. You played with Manute Bol.
Yeah.
You got to give us one funny Manute Bol story because I've heard that this dude is hilarious. Rest in peace, Manute.
Yeah, rest in peace, man. Manute, man. Yeah, you know, Manute was real funny, man. He's a funny dude, man. You know, but from what I've heard, I don't know, he killed his tribe. He killed a lion, man. They killed a lion, man.
Hey, did he really knock his teeth out trying to dunk?
He probably didn't hit it on the rim.
I was just curious if that was true, man.
I wasn't around when it happened. I don't know.
Hey, his celebrity boxing match with Refrigerator Perry was the best, though.
Yeah.
You got him on reach,
But
though.
Yeah, he outpointed him on reach.
He had a son, though. His son can play for real.
Oh, his
Bo
son
can
is
play.
awesome.
Bo can
Yeah.
play.
Bobo.
Mm-hmm. He can play.
Yeah.
Bobo is nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's Manute Bowl with a jump shot.
Changing the game. Changing the game. Shoot like his dad.
Yeah.
Except he makes them.
His dad can shoot it.
Except he makes them. Is that what you said?
Manute could shoot from the outside, though. I give him that. I like Manute.
He could shoot that three, man. I saw him hit a few threes.
One of the greatest defenders ever. Shot blockers in the NBA history.
He's a big man.
But I mean, you were only with Florida for a month, and then they'd end up waiving you, and then you would sign back with Oklahoma. It seems like your career, you're always coming back around, you know, the Oklahoma, Kansas, you know what I mean? Like you were right back in there with the OKC. So what happened there with the Cavs?
Hey, man. The Cavs, like one of the first teams I played with where all the players wanted me to score. You know, that was my job. It was him. They was like, hey, that's all we need you for, to score. And I was like, wow, what? So nobody gonna get mad about how much I shoot?
No more holding skip back. No more holding you back. Now it's off to the races.
Yeah, so that's why I ended up leading the league in scoring.
Yeah, you were newcomer of the year that year.
Yeah. We won the championship with the Cavs. I love playing with them.
You were kind of a legend, though. You played there
Nice.
a couple of years.
Yeah, a great group of guys, man. All of them that I played with. Yeah.
So in
That's
that off season, you actually this is the first time you ended up going to Sixers camp. Am I correct? That was what happened?
Yeah. When I played with Iverson.
How was that?
Oh man, that was cool, man. That was real. That was good. Especially playing with him. That was his first year in the league.
Did he come to practice?
Hey, it's just
Yeah,
practice, man.
Just
Yeah,
practice.
no, hey, now you're not putting me on the spot. You're putting him on the spot, right?
Well, you both played with him. Shit, I'm just
But I'm
asking.
saying, we're
Somebody
talking
give me an
about
answer.
practice, though. I mean, are we
Hey.
really talking about practice?
Hey, that's when he first came to the league. He had to prove a point then.
I mean,
So yeah,
practice.
he definitely was at practice.
Not the game, not the podcast.
Nah.
We're talking about practice. I practice with him every practice. I mean, that's already, I mean, you know how the media does. And, you know, shouts out to all the branches in the circuits. But that was taken in a certain way, and he kind of fed into the quicksand.
Well, I love guys like Iverson because, see, my talent in any sport always generated to just going to practice because they weren't going to play no games. So I appreciated guys like Iverson for not showing up so that way I could get a little time doing anything. I mean, shoot, I was like a backup in like church league basketball. So there we go. You know, like it wasn't happening. So shout out to Iverson for being able to play like that because I sure couldn't.
The church league goat.
That's right.
Brown Jordan.
Brown Jordan. They didn't want to see it coming. I got the best 2-inch vertical you ever see. I'm telling you.
Hey,
You get me on a 5-foot rim, I'm gonna wax that ass in dunk contest. I'm gonna tell you right now, Skip. We're gonna get a 5-foot rim. We're gonna go out here and I'm gonna show you what's up. I'm gonna go between the legs before I jump even, and then I'm gonna hit that shit. Hey.
Yeah.
One more thing. The CBA then was the D League now. You know?
Yeah.
yeah.
I just wanted to bring everybody into that so they'll understand that the CBA then was the D League now. How many call-ups you have?
Well, I had a total of 4 in 1 year, 4 in 1 season.
With what?
That's almost a record. And it's almost not even enough time in the season to get called up there.
Yeah.
That's big. That is big. I mean, that's something I wanted.
Yeah, if they had the D League back then, yeah, I'd have been. Either I'd have made a living in the G League, or I know I'd have got signed.
Right.
So I got a question. Who was the best player that you played against in the league?
In which league?
The NBA.
Man, of course, man. Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, man.
Can you prove that?
Well, man, I guess I got some.
Yeah, hold on, Jordan. Because in today's society, you know this is my podcast. I got protecting, but Skip, we got something for you.
Yeah. We're gonna play a little game. You guys remember that game? Where's Waldo? You guys remember that game? With that goofy guy looked like me.
I remember. I love those.
I remember that game. I used to love. Yeah, I love that game.
Tell you something. I'm gonna put this
Role
up
play
right
where
now.
Skip.
You ever see this picture before, Skip?
Nah, I ain't never seen that picture before, man.
It's blurry as hell. So I tell you what we're gonna do. Our fact-finding team here of Team Odyssey and Team One and Done, our three compadres, we came up with a little something to show you on this show tonight. As a gift to you, we will show the world Mr. Skip Nickerson scoring on the great Michael Jordan. So let me get this together right now.
For the world.
Yeah, look at Skip, man. Skip ready.
Nah.
I told you we had something for you, didn't we?
Oh my goodness, we got something for you.
That's what this show is for, because you know what? You deserve it.
You deserve it, man. Can everybody see the screen okay?
Yeah.
There's not going to be any
Enlarge
sound.
it and go. Yes, see it perfect. Enlarge it.
Here we go. You ready? All right, Skip.
Got it.
You've only seen it once. I ain't rewinding it. Here we go. So keep your eyes on the prize, baby.
7 seconds left in the first half. Kukoc.
Okay. I see him in the help defense.
2 seconds. 1 second. Did he get it off in time? Yes, he did.
He got it.
Oh!
Nickerson, baby.
Chicago Bulls leading 51-43. Now let's go back to our studio. One more time. Here's Steve Casher.
Oh, my
Thank you,
goodness.
Chris.
Man.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much for finding that, brother.
Hey, you know,
That's
Michael's
big
probably
time.
somewhere right now watching that.
Oh, he's pissed.
Yeah, he's pissed about it.
Like, where's that dude at?
He wants to play you one-on-one now.
Oh, yeah, he's going to come back. We're going to get a call, man. We're going to do the last to the last dance.
Oh man, that was sweet, man. That was sweet, man.
Absolutely.
That's it. Those kind of moments are for it to be shown. Because guess what? It's almost like telling your story. If you don't tell anyone, nobody knows it.
Right.
If you don't show that, it's a kid somewhere that say, man, he dunked on Mike. Well, who's that great now? Go get him. You know? So, man, I've known about it, but I just wanted to make it special to you, man. And I want to do it in front of everybody.
But it wasn't no dunk, man. It was a reverse layup.
Ooh, even nicer. Even nicer.
Now, if it was a dunk, it'll be over with.
Shit.
He probably will be looking for me.
He'd
I
be
learned in
coming
my
back.
life dunks are overrated.
Right.
I asked him, let me carry his golf bag.
I tell you what.
Let that person get paid. His caddy get paid, man.
We'll see if we can make a few calls, man.
$200,000 a year or so.
Nah, man. Nah, that was cool. We were glad to share that. But that was with the Kings in that preseason. You actually played regular season ball with the Spurs and the Washington Bullets.
Yeah. Basketball took me a lot of places, man. Met a lot of people, and I just appreciate it all. It's all like a dream come true.
You know what? He played with the two tallest players in the history.
Absolutely.
Manute.
And George Mirasan. You want to smell like me?
He played with George Mirasan in Washington, and he played with Manute.
That's right.
A combined almost 15 feet of terror,
15
man. What was
feet.
that?
Yeah, and I don't play against or with some kind of mingling with all the Fab Five.
Oh, really? So you played with Chris? You played with Chris and Juwan there.
Yeah,
Played with Ray Jackson in the CBA
I played against
And
Jimmy
King.
Ray.
and Jimmy King.
And I played against Jalen in the NBA.
Did you wear black socks that day?
Nah. Yep.
Well, after that, you made a lot of noise in the CBA. I believe you were the scoring champ the year after that. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yeah. And we won a championship.
And then you fast forward, and then you ended up playing for another Hall of Famer down the road. What was it it was in Oklahoma City for the IBL.
Yeah, Mr. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
So what were the GOAT? Tell us. We want to know. What was it like playing
Hey,
for the
man.
GOAT?
Hey, that was awesome, man. All that experience, all that knowledge. I couldn't believe that I was blessed to be around that. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to take advantage of it. Every chance I got, I was talking to Kareem. I was asking him all kind of questions, situations, not only just with basketball, just with life itself, because he was an amazing person, and he loved talking and just,
He's kind of a deep thinker, isn't he?
Yeah, giving up that knowledge, man.
Yeah.
So, it was all a good experience, man. Plus good for the resume. It just sounds good on the resume. Being around people like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, winning the championship. He made sure I had diamonds in my ring.
Hey, did you ever block his sky hook?
Man, I wouldn't even try to. Out of respect. Kareem, nah. Even if I could, man, ain't nobody in the world can block that sky hook.
That was a beast.
That's because you're from Wichita. Now, if you were from here like me, trust me, we'd have been going for the jugular. But that's just the story.
Man, he's shooting that sky hook like a jump shot, man.
I'm gonna show you.
Only Piston with the wingspan to block the hook shot. We already know, but
I'd like to see a kid today with that in their game. They ain't got that in their game, man.
The hook shot?
Man, they ain't got that hook shot, man.
It's a lost art.
It's because everybody got that stupid Euro step now. It's all they do. Euro step, Euro step, Euro step. They ain't got no sky hook.
Post move, Euro step.
Post move, Euro step. What a friggin' joke. No hand checking, Euro step. I tell you what, man. No.
It's that new age.
Skip, I got another question for you. I got a good one. I got a great one. I'm always fact checking. What? No, really, I got a question. I want to ask you now because I played overseas too. Top country, just off the, just a little bit off of the itinerary.
Top country for me, man. I gotta go with Spain.
Spain.
I gotta go with Spain.
Chris, you been overseas?
Not to Spain. Hey, how was the food over there, though? Did you have any kind of issues as far as acclimating to food?
Well, in Spain, I like a lot of pasta and stuff anyway.
Right.
They do some pasta, but they had places. They had a place in Madrid and it was called Taste of America. You go to this place, you can get all American products, like the things that you take for granted: Frosted Flakes.
Oh wow.
Rice Krispies, just all the, peanut butter, all those type of products that you normally can't get and that you take for so much for granted. It just lets you see how much you take for granted.
What about like when you went to Turkey?
Now that was tough.
Yeah.
Finding something to eat there was tough, man. I ate the same thing. I found a place that I trusted. And I ended up eating the same thing for almost 6-7 months, man.
When you travel more Asiatic and more away from the Westerners, I mean, you got to adapt to the food. I mean, I've been to Turkey too, so I know what he talked about. But
because you had translators, right? Did they give you translators over there too?
Yeah.
That lived with you?
Well, no, it didn't live. They didn't live with me, but
I'm the only one that did that, Chris.
You.
I'm the only one that make the translator live with me.
Most of the day, they was with me.
Turned him into a butler.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
No, so Skip, man. So we got to ask, your career, I'd say, you had a really solid career. You got to travel around, you made noise in every place you've been. So, now that the NBA and the pro ball career is over now, what's on the agenda? What's Skip up to these days?
Well, man, I've been just training kids and coming up with my own thing for us, having camps, trying to host camps. Things been real slow since the COVID, you know what I mean? It's hard to have people gather around and stuff though. But before that, it was snowballing. My thing was snowballing. Clothing line, I had different gear, my own gear called Get Your Game Tight.
Let's see, drop it on us.
Oh yeah, we're gonna drop it on you right now. Let's see what we
Watch
got
this,
here.
y'all.
Oh yeah, let's see it.
Well, this is just a t-shirt. I have t-shirts, and that's the emblem.
Bring us into the mindset. Bring us into the mindset of get your game tight.
I'm gonna share this right here. Can everybody see that? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us the meaning of get your game tight, man.
Sweatshirts, t-shirts. Okay, I like that.
That
Activewear.
abbreviated is GYGT. Get your game tight. Well, with Get Your Game Tight, it's more than basketball. You can get it with any sport. Any sport. You get your game tight. Whatever the athlete has to do to become that player. And then also Get Your Game Tight is education. You can get your game tight on and off the court.
So how do you go about getting one of these sweatshirts, man?
Well, I got to get my website back up, but for now, they can just contact me on Facebook or message me, and I can get it right to you. Get your information.
You told me you had something special. I think you need to bring that out that bag. Hey, brother, can you hold that jersey up for me, please?
Oh yeah, got a jersey. Okay, let's see this.
It's a lot like the jersey I got on here.
Now, are you selling those too?
Yeah, got these for sale too.
Okay.
Show them the back of your jersey. Show them the back of yours. I like those.
Oh, those things look hot. I like them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fit my double chin into one.
So, hey, brother. Hey, so can I ask you one more question?
Yeah.
If I hit you up in the DM, I can order one, or anybody can order one. Oh man, that's dope.
Oh, I like that.
Oh yeah, let me see.
Man, that's dope.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Man,
that looks good.
That's nice.
And I tell you what we'll do for all the watchers out there right now, all the viewers. If you guys can't hit Skip up on DM, hit us up on DM. We will pass the message and we will make sure that you get a hold of some of these products. Because I tell you what, part of this show is making sure that all of our guests, have a platform. Because you know what, you got to understand, as an NBA player, you always will hold value. I tell this to KORLEONE all the time. There's a kid out there that remembers you. I remember you. That's how me and KORLEONE linked up, man. I went from being a fan to being family. You know what I mean? And that's the beautiful part about what sports can do and what this broadcast and this podcast is going to do. So what we want to do is, hey, you know what? There is somebody out there that wants to get their game tight. Well, what better way than to rock the shirt? Somebody a Hawks fan, everybody got a Dominique jersey. Let's get some number 6s out there.
Yeah, so go into the chat. If you're watching, go into the DM, go into the chat right now. Hit Skip with the red thumbs. Hit him with the red square, the red heart, and the thumbs up. We'll come back in the chat, connect you with Get Your Game Tight. You can order your jersey, your sweatshirt, your t-shirt, anything you need. And if you also need some instructions on getting your game tight, we get you some type of pamphlets, brochures, some type of literature that you'll be able to keep, put it on your refrigerator, and every morning they'll be able to do what, Skip?
Get your game tight.
Man,
hey, man, I think I got to get my game tight, dog.
I got you.
I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to the master over here.
Well, hey,
Hey, man.
We all on the same team.
We all on the same team. I'm just saying. I mean, look, you ain't got no shirts. You got a jersey. I'm just saying. I want the Get Your Game Tight shirt.
True.
I'm just saying. Now
I'm a distributor. I'm a distributor of Get Your Game Tight.
Well, they don't call you the Don for nothing, cousin.
Thank you. So, brother, I want to also say something too. I think it was very creative for you to brand yourself, to almost put yourself in a position to capitalize, to embrace, motivate, inspire, do all them things outside of the realm of basketball, as I speak about a lot. Knowing your worth, not only your worth, but what it is to the rest of the world. But when we tell our stories, when we spread this knowledge, when we spread this love, bro, you're blessing people. So I want to thank you for coming on the show, taking the courage. You know how it is. When you come and go deep on some things on how you thought, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy writing this. It wasn't easy at all. But everybody will realize that when you tell your story, like Gaylon Nickerson is on his way, what it does is it puts kids into a different mindset
100%.
and a different vision to be something more than what they may be settling themselves for. So I love you, brother. Oh, yeah.
I'd like
You
to
can go
ask
get the
one more.
book on Amazon. You can go get the book on Amazon. You can go get the book at barnesandnobles.com. One and done, the KORLEONE Young story. Myself and Kevin Harrison. Shouts out to Kevin Harrison. If he's not watching, if he is watching, it takes a team. Much love.
Hey, Kate,
And, go get it.
we got to ask one more question to Skip, and then we're going to call. But we have to ask this question because I think it's the most important.
Oh no, I'll let you do it. You do it. You go ahead.
We're going to ask this. So, Skip, I really want you to think about this. After everything we've talked about today, if you could go back in time and have a discussion with young Gaylon Nickerson, what would you say? What would you say to young Skip? I just think it's an important question.
It's a beautiful question.
Well, yeah. First of all, I would tell him to make sure he stay focused and take school serious. Put school first. Education. You know, show him how important education is, and to get a support team. How important it is to having a support team. Something that I didn't have. I would tell him to get a support team. Somebody that you trust, whether it's family, whether it's a father, mother, you know, that person that you trust that can help you and direct you and always bring you back.
And a good agent.
And a good agent.
Yeah.
You know what? That's the best advice you can give anybody, because you said the number one thing, man, is evaluating your surroundings and forming the best support system, talking to people, inquiring. But we all have these people in our life. Sometimes we have to just really like wash our eyes open and see the people that really back us, support us, and even embracing some of the hate, meaning some of the non-support. I know that was some of the biggest inspiration in you. Just as much support as you had, there's always that in the back. And for someone listening, I got a little saying and motto. Skip know it, we say it together. Embrace the hate, because it will take you somewhere bigger than the hate. Skip, I love you, man. Hey, Chris.
Good story, man.
You got anything, Chris? I would like for you to close with a question.
I think the thing that stands out to me is all these guys that told you to hold back. And you proved them wrong, man, by doing what you did. That's one of the most unconventional trips to the NBA I've ever heard. 4 different colleges. That's a great story of perseverance.
Yeah,
Never
really
giving
is.
up.
Appreciate that.
Never giving up.
Never giving up.
So the thing for me, to get your game tight, it's not just sports related. It can be business related. I walked out of 2 stores today because their game wasn't tight. Lowe's and another store, we couldn't get service. So you could speak to organizations about keeping their game tight, because games aren't tight anymore. And it's an important thing.
Not at all.
So it doesn't have to relate just to sports. It can be
It's universal.
It's universal. Definitely.
Universal.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
just
you got
use your
something there,
platform.
man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I really appreciate your guys having me tonight. But one of the most important things to me, man, that Jordan, that showing me play against Jordan, man, that was big.
I told you, Jordan.
Hey,
Hey, shout out to Jordan, man. Hey, Jordan, man, listen, you're remarkable, man. Some of the stuff that you're able to
Remarkable,
go
man.
and find. I mean, brother,
Find the stuff
I
that's,
think,
well,
man, that was
it's nothing but love. But you scored on air, Jordan. But with my land beer mentality, you sure as shit ain't scoring on ground, Jordan. And we'll see about that. We'll put the camera out there because I'm gonna go
and
right
you
for the
did bring
jugular.
it to this side. You brought it over to this side.
I don't even know if I try to score on ground, Jordan. I would just take the foul.
Hey, man.
That's a good idea.
But you got to remember, it's a 5-foot rim, right?
It's a 5-foot rim. That's right, because I ain't playing on a 10-foot, and plus, I got like gout. So yeah, this ain't we be messed up. But
Hey, Jordan,
yeah, what's up?
I just wanted to say some special thank you to Check Ball and some stuff like that. Did you want to help me out or?
Yeah, so Check Ball, they got their
I'll
own
let you
apparel
handle
line.
it.
Well, I'm gonna let you
Right.
Kay speak on it. I'm gonna pull up the picture right now.
Okay, cool, man. And it's always a joint venture. It's always people backing you, pushing you, and giving you the platform that you have. And this guy in the Eddie Jones All-Star game, the guy we about to bring on from Check Ball, his name is Latel Vaughn, is one of the co-founders of Dada. And so what we're going to do here in the future, this is our sponsor, Check Ball. Y'all should go check it out. Man, it's hot apparel. It's online. You can go to checkball, checkmag@gmail.com. You can go to checkballmag.com. You can hit up on Checkball Twitter, or you can hit me up to get anything you see. What we're going to do is we're going to start something, Jordan. And something that I remember with Dada, the reason that they're so close to me and this Checkball is because that was a beginning for me. That was a beginning. And so Dada was something very special to me, very intricate. This is one of my good friends. I want to thank him publicly. Lotel, if you're watching, shouts out to, Check Ball. Y'all go check it out. It's the stuff. It's coming this way from Philly.
Hey, Lotel, man, if you're listening out there, nothing but love for the Check Ball stuff. But if you could send me a pair of spinners, them spree whales, I would be most appreciated.
He got you. He got
me. And also,
hey, that might get you off the ground.
It's gonna get me spinning, baby.
Hey,
let me tell you this.
You spinning, man.
Hey, it may get him in trouble.
It might, yeah. That's right.
I have to also say something too that's a little bit off topic, but tomorrow is my mother's birthday. So if you're watching out there, Diane, my mom, I love you so much. And I appreciate all the support that you've always shown me and my family. We all love you. My new family right here loves you. Skip loves you. Happy birthday, mama. I love you so much.
Happy birthday. Hey, what's up, Pops?
Happy birthday.
Hey, Pops, I'm waiting on my deer jerky. I think we figured out the perfect, but trust me, I know how we gonna get it here.
I know, we're gonna send it. And I need some too, because as you can see, I'm withering away down to nothing.
Hey man, shouts out to Odyssey. You know what? Big things coming from One and Done and Team Odyssey Productions. Big things.
Big projects.
Me and Chris got some big projects with Team Odyssey coming. We ain't gonna really relay nothing yet, but trust me, they are big projects. They're big projects. I'll give you 31 reasons why I ain't gonna say it today. But other than that, we got some big projects.
Hey,
also, shout out also One and Done Productions and KORLEONE and his production of his book. Please, if anybody get out there, please, One and Done. This is a beautiful book. And I want everybody to make sure to get out there and read it, because everybody can learn something from this. This podcast is about so much, but it's also about boosting the spirits of those who have been in the past and the kids in the future, kind of avoiding some of the same things that those guys have happened to. But like I said, this is a beautiful podcast. I am honored to be a part of it. Skip, we have been honored to have you as our first guest. We want to have you back sometimes. Maybe we can do a few little fun games and bring Skip back on for some special commentating. What do you say, boys? We good with that?
Heck yeah.
Definitely. What we're gonna do is check back up in a minute, and we're gonna see how everything's going. And I think you're gonna have some good news for us. I think I know, because it's his spirit.
Absolutely.
He's a good guy. He's got a great
Skip.
heart.
Person, Skip.
Hey, Skip,
Yes, sir.
On the off chance that Michael Jordan's watching, is there anything you want to say? You want to take him one-on-one one more time?
Give it to him. Give it to him.
I snuck him that time. I snuck one in on him.
I wasn't going to bring this up, but Skip does have another claim to fame, and we'll leave it at that. He was blocked by 3 Hall of Famers that game. Robert Parrish, Michael Jordan, and Scottie Pippen. But Jordan blocked him before that, so Skip had the last laugh. Am I right, my man?
Yeah. That's all right. It'll take a Hall of Famer. It'll take a Hall of Famer to get it.
That's right.
I was waiting on that.
It'll take a Hall of Famer. But Skip, thank you. We're running out of time, so I want to let everybody know next week at 7 o'clock Eastern time, we're having one of Corleone's old teammates on. You know him as Jerron Rush. We're really excited to have Jerron on the broadcast. We're going to ask him a lot of questions, a lot to ask. I mean, UCLA, make sure, for you who don't know Jerron Rush, do your homework this week. We expect plenty of questions from all y'all. But this week, we want everybody to stay blessed, be safe, stay COVID-free, and let's just stay safe with all this stuff going on with our country. So love to you guys. Love to our broadcast. Love to our fans. Love to our family.
Good night. Take care.
Man.
God bless. Love one another. If you know somebody that needs help, help them.
Help him.
That's
If
right.
it's someone that needs someone to talk to, you know the podcast, reach out.
Yeah.
And God bless you all.
Stay safe, everybody. Thanks again for the time. We'll see you guys next week.
Stay safe.
Peace.
See ya.
Peace.
All right, Skip, I'm going to hit you up, bro.